What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. I hope everybody is doing well today. Thank you so much for joining me. So I was just scrolling through YouTube and just happened to come across this video right here. What is this craziness? Quebec man detained by U.S. Coast Guard while fishing in lake. The poor man, look at this poor man right here, man. Does he look like a threat? Does he look like he's out to harm somebody? Man, he was on a boat simply fishing in a lake and the U.S. Coast Guard decided to take it to the extreme. And yeah, let's go ahead and react to this video. I guess it's like a news interview and he's gonna explain his experience with the Coast Guard and he's going to explain thoroughly how they treated him. Now, despite the issues already going on between the US and Canada, you know, between our politicians, most Canadians are not even, you know, messing with the US right now. They don't even want to hear nothing about America, you know, or deal with us in any type of way. So now you have the U.S. Coast Guard messing with a man from Quebec. He's going to have an issue. He's not going to like our country even more. Now he has even more of a reason to not come over here to America, to never ever visit a day in his life. He has more of a reason now. Because it takes nothing. It takes simply nothing in order for them to mess with you. So imagine living in the country. It don't make no sense, man. It's craziness. Everybody let me know in the comment section. Did you actually happen to come across this video when scrolling on YouTube? It was posted like literally an hour, 2 hours ago. It only has about 4,000 views, man. So we're early to this. This is very unfortunate. I hope this man is doing well. Maybe he's able to pull a lawsuit. I feel like, you know, in certain situations, especially if they have no reason, especially if they searched the boat. What if they searched his boat and tossed everything and this and that? Oh man, and he's just simply fishing? Yeah, it's not gonna end up so good.
I'm never gonna be the same. You see,
What? We just started the video. Y'all done terrorized the man that much that he just said he's never gonna be the same. He literally said, I'm never gonna be the same. Wait a minute. They probably came up in there like this too. Like all yeah, extra. They probably came out there extra too. Extra. You know how they do, surround the boat and they get on the boat like this. Like it's Call of Duty or something. This one man on the boat. What was he, with his wife? I see him by some, what was he, with his wife or something? His kids? Man, y'all are crazy. How come like the Coast Guard and like, you know, our border patrol, how come they never respond to these situations? You know, ICE and everybody, they never respond to these situations, especially when they're in the wrong. Like, I would love to hear both sides. I would simply pay to react to the interviews of those people, you know, answering certain questions about why they did such things. I would simply pay for that type of stuff.
I'm never gonna be the same. You see, it comes and goes. I can't stop it.
Edouard Lallemand is still very emotional when he talks about what happened on Sunday evening. Lallemand was out fishing near Venise en Quebec. The water connects to Lake Champlain in the U.S. But Lallemand says he knows for certain he was on the Canadian side.
Oh, okay, that's what I was saying. I was gonna say, did you cross in any type of way? I see somebody on Instagram cross the other day with a jet ski. Literally, with a jet ski, right to the other side. Oh boy, they're gonna have some fines coming in, because why would you record it and post it?
U.S. But Lallemand says he knows for certain he was on the Canadian side.
I'm seeing them. They're coming towards me. And then I know, in my heart, I'm in Canada. I said, you can't do nothing to me.
The boat that was approaching, he says, was the U.S. Coast Guard. They asked him to turn off his engine. He complied. They told him he was in U.S. territory.
No, I'm very sorry. I'm in Canada. And I said, you know, I'm polite enough to talk to you guys, but you cannot arrest me. You can't come across the border and pick me up. And they did.
Lallemand says he started his engine and
out
tried
of
to
pocket, and they did. Oh my gosh. It's like if you watch a movie and have you guys, okay, there was this one movie with Martin Lawrence and he was a criminal, robbed the bank, got away with the diamond or something like that, crossed the border into Mexico. The cops just stood right there. You can't get the man. Same with Canada. There's two borders. If I cross over to Canada, what you gonna do? You can't get me? You can't get me? If I go to another country, you can't get me? They had no right doing that. Out of pocket. Out of pocket.
Cross the border and pick me up. And they did.
Lallemand says he started his engine and tried to make his way further into Canada, but he says the Coast Guard followed and tried pushing him into the U.S. Eventually, his boat capsized. Lallemand was in the water and said,
What? They tried pushing him into the U.S. side? You smell that? I smell a lawsuit. I smell money. I smell a mansion. I smell a Ferrari. I smell jewelry. I smell lavish dinners. Oh, I smell flights, hotels, Airbnbs.
The border and picked me up. They did.
L'Allemand says he started his engine and tried to make his way further into Canada, but he says the Coast Guard followed and tried pushing him into the U.S.
Get out of
Eventually,
here.
his boat capsized. L'Allemand was in the water and says he was drowning.
You know what they're doing? They're tying to my boat to their boat. They're not even taking care of me. Not at all. I'm the one that told them. The third time I went down, coming out with water in my mouth, spitting it out, I said, throw me a buoy.
He says he was handcuffed on the U.S. Coast Guard boat and eventually turned over to Border Patrol. He was detained and placed in a holding cell without a proper explanation, he says.
It's always like that. There's always no proper explanation. Do you realize that? Every single time we go through this, there's no proper explanation. You get to asking this, you get to ask, nobody know nothing. You the one who put the cuffs on me. You don't know nothing. You can't tell me nothing. That's the stuff that would drive me insane, and it would give them a reason to detain me and really put me in a cell, because the way I would lose my mind. You mean to tell me you did all this and I'm drowning? My boat is gone. You ruined my fishing trip, my peace of mind, my mental health. You don't know if I got anything going on. Like, you don't know if this man got anything going on with him, any bad anxiety or PTSD. You don't know that. You know, this man could be a vet. You don't, like, you gonna put me in handcuffs for no reason? I'm losing my mind. I will lose my mind. I will lose my mind. Like, it's gonna take a 300-pound, you gotta come tackle something down if you want to stop me. If you want to shut my mouth. Let me tell you something. Freedom of speech. You get on that boat, they gonna get to, and be quiet. Stop running your mouth. Yeah, dude, we don't do that. Yeah, it's a freedom of speech, man. These people be losing their mind. So many times I've seen it in public. They try to get over you. Stop talking. Do this. Be quiet. Let somebody put... This is crazy, right? I'm sorry to be pointing at y'all like that. I don't really mean that. But, like, that's crazy. And that'll get you to a point where you want to fight, man. You want to defend yourself. You want to fight. I'm sorry. You already got me shackled up, like, man. This is horrible. Once again, it's a L for my country. Once again, my country has done something crazy. And the fact that, you know, I could see if he crossed over, but it's the fact that he didn't. And he tried to go back more towards, like, the Canadian side. Maybe he was too deep out, you know? And they could have gave him a warning. It was like, all right, go ahead. We obviously know you live in Quebec. They could have just helped him. They could have just watched him go further back and just left. They didn't have to try to pull him in. They wanted to start something. They was looking for a reason. They get so bored on their jobs that they start looking for a reason to antagonize the people, the locals, the public. They have a reason, you know. They start looking for reasons. They want to antagonize you. You out in the water. Who gonna stop them?
Detained and placed in a Coast Guard boat and eventually turned over to Border Patrol. He was detained and placed in a holding cell without a proper explanation.
This makes me sick.
I said, are you arresting me? No, sir, you're detained. I said, detained for what? I said, you aggressed me. I didn't do nothing to you guys. I didn't even hit you guys.
In a statement to CTV News, the U.S. Coast Guard says the operator was informed that he was...
They replied? This is the first time. Oh my gosh, dreams have been coming true. 2025 is the year for us, baby. I tell you that. The Lord is good. This is the first time we have ever heard a response. Okay, so we got the U.S. Coast Guard, Northeast District. Let's go ahead and see. I'm pretty sure this guy is going to read it. We don't even have to read it, man.
In a statement to CTV News, the U.S. Coast Guard says the operator was informed that he was in U.S. Customs waters. While the Coast Guard's 29-foot response boat was alongside the vessel, the operator put the vessel in motion and ignored commands to maintain course and speed for boarding purposes. The vessel then made an abrupt turn and struck the port bow of the Coast Guard. They go on to say that L'Allemand's boat capsized and he ended up in the water, but the Coast Guard promptly recovered him. He was eventually transferred to U.S. Border Patrol custody, and the Coast Guard says the actions of the operator of the Canadian vessel are currently under investigation.
We treat our pets
Better than that.
Wait a minute. You see, there's always two sides of the story. Whoa, can I go back and actually read that again? There's two sides of the story, man. The operator was informed that he was in U.S. Customs water, while the Coast Guard's 29-foot response boat, small, was alongside the vessel. The operator put the vessel in motion and ignored commands to maintain course and speed for boarding purposes. Okay, so they wanted to board the boat, maybe question him, get him to stop. It seems like the man was like, no, I'm not in U.S. waters. Leave me alone. No, I'm Canadian. I'm going back to Canada. No, I live in Quebec. And he tried to just turn around and go. He tried to just hurry up and go back because he was, panicking. And he just wanted to go back to the Canadian waters, and they wasn't accepting that. They was like, oh, you're not even listening. What you got? They probably was like, what you got going on? You trying to hide something on the boat? They probably thought something was a little sketchy. Maybe. I'm trying to understand both sides. I'm not trying to say he had something going on, though, and he was just running away. And I can't believe the U.S. Coast Guard at all, either. I can't believe them, either. Come on. The vessel then made an abrupt starboard turn and struck the port bow of the Coast Guard. And that's because he went off course. He didn't follow their directions, so he wanted to do his own thing, and I guess he ended up, oh, my goodness, causing an accident. All right. Let's go ahead and see, man. There's always two sides of the story, like I said, and this really like levels it out now, Why was he detained for no reason, though? It could have took a simple warning, you could have just guided him back, but he did kind of just say, look, I decided I'm turning around, I'm out of here because you can't arrest me. I'm not in U.S. waters. It seemed like he was a little, it was like a sense of entitlement. And I don't know if he was really in U.S. waters or not. We don't have no witnesses for that. That's where it should begin. But yet again, that's why I just want to hear out both sides of the story. I can't tell you. I don't know if he was in U.S. waters or not. The guy said that the Coast Guard tried to push him in U.S. waters. But the U.S. is saying, the U.S. Coast Guard is now saying, though, that they was trying to maintain his speed and guide him. That way they could board and, figure out everything. So they both had two different things in their mind.
Bow in the patrol custody. And the Coast Guard says the actions of the operator of the Canadian vessel are currently under investigation.
See, it looks suspicious to them.
Better than
they
that.
treated him.
After hours in a cell, L'Allemand was released.
When I saw him coming from the Canadian Customs, and he was flabbergasted. I mean, I never seen him like that. We've been together for a very long time. He's like a beaten man.
He says he was injured, but he just wants an apology from the U.S. Coast Guard. And he's speaking out as a warning to other Canadians.
You can forget about it. You ain't getting an apology from them.
Just wants an apology from the U.S. Coast Guard. And he's speaking out as a warning to other Canadians.
I want the people to know and to beware. Stay away from the border, even if it's 500, 600 feet away from there.
Matt Grillo, CTV News, Saint Jean.
Oh, this is look at him. Y'all done ruined this man's life. You ruined his life. You ruined him. Look at him, bro. Breaking down. He about to start breaking down. You don't cause trauma. He just wanted to enjoy fishing. He may never go fishing again. There's no more fishing. He's just gonna go to the supermarket and purchase it because y'all out here go crazy. Like, what is going on? This is so unfortunate. I'm not siding with nobody, because I heard both sides. This is the first time we've ever heard both sides. Do I feel bad for this man? Of course, 1,000%. Did he deserve to be treated in any type of way with aggression? No, because I know how my country does. This is how they come. Aggressive. They probably caused trauma for this man. You don't know if he's mentally ill or if he has other issues he's battling. There's other ways of going about it, especially if you see it's one harmless man versus a whole crew of you guys. You guys are attacked. You're equipped. You're suited up. You suited and booted. You ready to go. He's not a threat. You could obviously tell he's not a threat. Look at the boat he was on. Man, that little thing, I tipped that thing over with my foot. That little behind boat. What he gonna do with the boat? What was he gonna do with that boat, man? I'm like, these people just over-exaggerate and abusing authority. I want to know, did he cross into U.S. waters by accident, perhaps? This is a man that probably goes fishing here all the time. He knows the difference and has never gotten, captured by the U.S. Coast Guard. He's probably, he probably always goes to that spot or has always been in these waters. So just the fact that he's being detained now and had to go through this after probably fishing here for years. All these years, he's like, whoa, they gotta be targeting us. They gotta be out for us now because of all these issues. And he didn't bring up the issues, but everybody is educated. Well, forgive me for that. Not everybody, but these people are educated of what's going on with their country, between ours and theirs. So this is very unfortunate, man. I would love the full story though. I would love the full story, you know? See some body cam footage. I would love to see some camera footage or something. Like, was he crossed into US waters or not? That determines if it was appropriate for the way they treated this man, or if it was not appropriate, if they went overboard, you know? Look at him. I truly feel bad. It's messed up. That is ridiculous, man. If you guys enjoyed this video just as much as me, feel free to like, comment, subscribe, and turn all post notifications on. Please feel free to share your honest thoughts in the comments down below. Of course, if you are comfortable with it. Feel free to follow my Twitch in the description down below as well, so you guys do not miss out on any of the live streams, man. I mean, come on. We're going to be reacting to some of these amazing videos on live. Being able to just communicate with each other, man, and just vibe and chill. Have a good time, you know? Everybody, please continue to flood my comment section with more of these amazing informal videos for us to react to. Everyone, stay safe, enjoy the weather in your beautiful, fantastic, majestic country. And I hope to catch you all in the next one.